their heads off.
Did you know they're made with real cheese, even though they look like fishies? The
Fishies.
snack
Smack.
that
That
smiles
smiles
back,
back. Goldfish.
goldfish.
Hi, welcome to Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries, presented by Arbitrary Hero. My name is Cameron, and I am your Dungeon Master for today. I'm here to run a game of Waterdeep Blue Alley for my friends. Say hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Friends.
We are hopefully at the very end of Blue Alley today. We're getting out. I think this has been like a 6-episode process. To put that in perspective, it is on the cover of the Blue Alley module. It specifically says, and I quote, a 4-hour adventure for tier 1 characters optimized for level 2. We've got a little more than that. I've added a couple things. I think it's been
a little more optimized.
A lot of fun. But we're getting out of here today. So the question is the day is just, what's everyone want to do next? First, a man who puts bros and hoes before foes. The man from Waterdeep will roll you 6 feet deep. It's Rolan G. Toro. Rolan, I mean, besides like taking a breather and a rest, what's on your mind? What you got next going on?
So we found the coin, right? And it's kind of a piss poor prize at the end of all this. I don't know if he believes that's the whole of it.
I would recall you, not saying that it's the only prize, but you found a statue of a unicorn.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Someone has said
and there's still a
that
coin slot.
it's very important. Yes, but yes,
Like this was behind the locked prize door.
yeah.
I feel like this was behind a key. The other one we found in a room.
We want to resurrect the unicorn as a unicorn.
So yeah, there is that. The only other thing I can think of is that coin. Did we have
gold room in that other area?
There's a small little door with a coin slot.
Did we ever open that?
You were unable to open. No, you were. I think you were unable to open that.
I don't think we only brute forced like one of the locks, and I think that was the bone lock.
Yep.
Well, we have the key now.
Yeah, so we can go drop that off.
If that's literally the only thing left I can think to do in this place, and then we can leave. I don't care.
Awesome. But when you do leave, what do you want to do?
Take a long nap.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. And if we don't get an eye out of this, I want to put our heads together and see what our next move is.
Yeah.
Maybe visit the Black Staff or something.
Yeah. Whether you're a Seaward Scholar or a Dockward Brawler, she'll help those in need from afar. It's Our Lady of Shadow and Light, Alu Dracar. Alu, your strength is a bit diminished. You've been taking some damage this time. Aeodon is safe. You haven't had to use your necrotic shroud form, so you haven't had to expose him to the world around you. But once you get out of Blue Alley, what does Alu want to do?
She definitely wants a nap. I think she's with Rolan on this. She's like, I feel weak.
Yeah.
Swoon.
You cough and just like blood spatters on your fist. You're like, ugh, I should get that looked at.
She's just got plague, okay?
Yeah, it's just a
got,
little
this
plague.
Weird itchy rash going on. She's not sure what's up with that.
Yeah, love it. Off like a rocket, he helps make mechanical wonders tick. Protecting the City of Splendors is Sprocket. 3 feet of valor stands Spev Spacklestick. Spev, what about you? I know you've gotten, we talked offline through text, Danny, that you had some notes and things you were going through, but what does Spev want to do next?
I think a most immediate action is like he wants to take a nap with the rest of the crew, but he's also kind of in the back of it. Like he's an extra level of tired, but in the back of his mind, he's kind of got the gears turning of what he can do with these dragon parts and what kind of upgrades and armaments that he can make it. Just sort of like maybe this, maybe that. Just sort of seeing if any ideas come to him later.
Awesome.
But he's kind of he's more focused a lot on that.
Love it. She refreshes those around her like a gentle breeze, but has the power to set you aflame with the greatest of ease. So tread lightly, go delicately, if you wish to speak to Our Lady Holly. Holly reads, go delicately. What about you? You got some money again, and you've recently been having some financial troubles. What are you gonna do with that gold?
She's hiding that shit. That's what
Yeah.
Trick question. That's not your gold anymore.
Probably investing it into some personal stock that Ollie
Under a pseudonym?
doesn't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilhelm and Ollie, last time we left them at the Troll Skull Manor, they were discussing about shorting subprime mortgage loans.
There you go.
I mean, that would help us buy Froon's Brews, right? I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Have them do that. I want that shot. Long-term goals. Hashtag long-term
Yeah,
goals.
you know the price of it, so keep tabs on how much gold you're spending personally, and maybe you can set up a joint checking account to build up the savings to buy Froon's Brews. Take notes. He last but never least, he's come out of his glen to avenge his wife's death so barbaric. He'll butcher you while staying zen. It's the wood elf, not drow, Fen Merrick. Fen, what about you? Are you once this is done, are you back on the trail for your wife's killer, or are we just kind of dropping that subplot?
Wow.
So Ben wants to rest at a bonfire first.
Yes.
But primarily because he wants the enemies to respawn, because he wants to get out and do some more dice rolling.
Absolutely.
So whether that means go find his wife's killer, or it means help somebody else on their quest, whatever it is, as long as we're killing folk,
Yeah, he needs to get his sword swinging arm some practice.
he does. He's got to get his body counted.
We are returning to Blue Alley. Fen and Alu heroically braved the tunnel, the hallway of blades. You're back in the room with all the invisible bear traps that you've already set off. What do you all want to do next?
Let's go open that door.
Yes, ignoring the gemstones, heading over to the wine cellar. Let me take you all on a journey.
Are we sure we don't want those gemstones?
No, shut up.
I mean,
No, shut up.
I might be able to pluck one with Mage Hand. You could probably pretty quickly grab 2 of them, and that's 3 out of a flat.
Gazoo tight.
I mean, we could probably just pluck them and run. Just saying. I have 1 robot left.
All right. We are back up at the wine cellar door. You can come on in. Who has it? Fen or Alu? You have the key.
Ben does.
Coin.
The coin, yeah. There's a little slot. There's a small golden door with a slot in it that you can place that coin, should you so choose.
The coin is being placed.
You hear some rattling and cranking behind, and the door pops open, and you see a lantern inside.
A lantern. Is there an eye inside the lantern?
Does not appear to be so.
And I'll do a perception check and see if it's like anything special.
I'll say you automatically crit, so with a whatever 31 bullshit you roll on your perception, you know there's nothing here.
Okay, so that was fun.
But you got some cool treasure.
Like in the lantern, just an illusion.
You want to cast Identify as a ritual on the lantern? You can do that. 10 minutes go by. It is a lantern of revealing.
Ooh.
Can it reveal where the Stone of Galore is?
That's not how it works.
I mean, she had a point though. It was a valid question to ask.
Absolutely fair. Whoever wants it now has a lantern of revealing.
Who
I'll grab
wants
that.
the lantern of revealing?
With your Wand of Secrets, you have that. While lit, this hooded lantern burns for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil, shedding bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light in an additional 30 feet. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they are in the lantern's bright light. You can use an action to lower the hood, reducing the light to dim light in a 5-foot radius.
That's
Cool.
probably
Yeah, I'll-
very helpful at some point.
Yeah,
It would
I'll
have
hold on that.
It would have been super helpful in
You
that
got
bear trap room.
Yeah.
Like if you had walked in with the lantern.
Except we needed to go through the bear trap room to get the lantern.
I know, whoever designed this dungeon
Oh,
is
the irony.
diabolical.
So we just did this entire dungeon and there's no stone here.
Correct.
Maybe not true. How long does it take to search this whole place? Like, how long does it take to walk from one end of this dungeon to another?
Not that long. A minute.
Well,
maybe.
well, guess what? I got some oil on me. I'm gonna go and light this thing up and just do a quick stroll, just through the hallways and just check the rooms we're in, avoiding traps.
Sure. So I'll say like we're just gonna like move past and talk about specifically the things you haven't interacted with. You remember that there's that room in the like you're doing your investigation. You're identifying all the things that you haven't done yet. There's that room with the 2 Minotaur. That one of them has an ivory key around its neck. But you remember that the ivory key is for a door you've already opened. There is the room over here on the far right side with the white and gold tiles. There were these, you never stepped on the white tiles, you followed the path. But the lantern does not reveal anything new in any of those rooms.
Well, if I'm walking by and I thought about those tiles we never touched, I'll just do a quick mage hand and just compress one.
Yeah, 8 specters show up and then you get the fuck out of there, I assume.
What? Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Cool.
8 specters, fuck.
So yeah, just kind of
And then
that
there
all
are
that-
those gemstones you didn't take. But you would
No.
you all have
Shut up.
recognized, like I'm telling you, you all know what an Eye of Galore looks like. You've seen it. None of those are that.
Helpful. All right.
Hmm.
Well, are we done with Blue Skull Alley?
You
Let's
could
get the
be.
fuck out of here. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So we all now know that.
Wait, real quick before we leave, I want to go back to the Minotaur room and pluck out the horns. And when the Minotaurs appear, I'll be like, "You're free!" and
Bail.
toss them aside and run off.
Sure, yeah, you can do that. So to do that, you go and you grab one horn, remove it from one skull, walk over to the other skull, and when you remove so when you're touching a horn from each skull, the Minotaur come back, and then you run away.
I love you.
They can deal with the specters. Cool.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, we're gonna head on out of Blue Alley. I mean, we'll say it takes you another hour to do all the Blue Alley stuff, so all the searching stuff. That's enough time if you want to do another short rest right now and just like regain whatever you can regain. Go ahead.
I'm gonna burn my second wind, and then like right before the short rest, and then let the short rest happen so I can get it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, recover
go.
whatever you want to recover. Now is the time. I mean, nothing's going to happen after this. You're going to go back and take a long rest, but just to be extra safe. This is me as a dungeon master reminding my players that this is a calm moment to heal.
Yeah, he's yeah. Lies. If he's reminding us to heal, he's about to throw some shit at us.
No, it's just you all got mad at me last time.
Technically 2 times ago.
You got so
have
mad.
reason to be mad at you.
You got so mad. I'm just having fun playing a game with my friends. And you got so mad.
It's fine.
As-
While we're kind of walking, if you want me to cast Identify on anything we found, I can do that as we stroll along.
Absolutely. So you're heading back to, I assume you're heading back to Troll Skull Tavern. You can, if you wanted to, you can give Primara back for the reward. It sounded like you didn't really want to do that for Mert, but that's up to you all. Primara, like you're walking, and Primara's like basically just talking your ear off, Rolan, talking about how she used to run through the glades, dance with the elves in the moonlight,
Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches.
yeah, swim through the crystal clear waters, and she can't wait to do all that again. She's so excited.
Okay. Well,
Which you do have Primara if you want to use her to heal anyone, if anyone needs it.
does anybody need something?
I'm fine.
I'm
I
already
mean,
for right
we're
now.
leaving, so like I don't think there's a real big pot, and like Yeah. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Interesting map you have here.
You're hanging out and talking as you're heading back to Troll Skull Manor. This is like, I'd say, I mean, you've been in Blue Alley for a couple of hours because you took, I believe, 3 long rests plus all the exploration. So we'll say it's like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. It's not late at night, but it's in the afternoon as you're marching and walking and all that stuff.
We didn't take long rests in there, did we? Did you say long
No.
rest?
No,
we took
short
we took
rests.
okay.
Three short rests. You're heading back, and Alu, with your passive perception, you see there is a group like there's commoners everywhere and stuff. It's Waterdeep, it's busy, but you see kind of a unique looking group approaching you all. From the distance, you see at least 2 wood elves, a woman with a ancient and ornate scimitar, a wood elf man with 2 blades and a long bow at his back, a centaur. She has skin like the color of ashwood that leads into a zebra type horse body. She's as a centaur, she's a large creature. She's towering over everyone else, holding a great axe. There is a bear walking by her side. You see behind, flying through the air, is what looks to be a little pixie person, and another elf, a third wood elf, dressed in it almost looks like robes made out of leaves that have just like adhered around her body, and they seem to be walking towards Blue Alley. From the distance,
Adventures.
do you want to do anything to avoid their sight?
So I think she'd probably like heads up the team and be like, should we?
Do we know these people?
Yeah,
You
be like,
have-
here's Fen, or should we avoid them, or should we give them some?
None of you seem familiar with them. They continue to kind of walk forward just a little bit more as you're like discussing amongst yourselves, not too close, but they're marching purposefully in your direction.
I'll make way. I'm not going to get in the way of a bear and a centaur, but I'll just sort of move to the side of the road a little bit.
Is it Bear Cameron?
No, it's not Barrowin.
Is it actually a bear? The
Yeah.
person at the bear.
Yeah, you move to the side. They continue walking forward. They walk past you, and then Primara, she's talking, and the one elf in the back whips their head around at Primara's voice, and says, "You have the Celestite unicorn Primara prisoner?"
Oh,
I don't know about prisoner.
Bear.
This
You do
woman
not have
steps
prisoner.
forward.
She is in our care. Is there a problem?
She's our friend.
This woman steps forward, says, she looks kind of not super
Uncomfortable?
patient as she stands accusatorily towards you all. Says, for Primara to be away from the forest is itself a prison. The wood elf, the man that looks like maybe they're twins or siblings at least, steps forward and kind of puts a hand on on her shoulder. Says, my apologies. My sister Nica is zealous in her pursuit of justice. I'm Nico. This is the court of the Meadow-Wed, and maybe I can prevent a miscommunication here. You said you rescued her?
We did, and we have vowed to set her free from her frozen prison and return her to her home.
Nico says, that is our quest. We heard that a unicorn was held prisoner in Waterdeep in the form of a statue. We are here to return her to the grove.
Can you make her a unicorn again, or are you just gonna put a statue in a field? Because we're gonna make sure she's a unicorn again.
The elf in the back says, yes, we the power of the spirits of nature will make whole what has been taken from her.
In layman's terms, Holly Reese says.
Yeah.
Yes or no question.
Oliver wants to do a perception check and be like, "Can we trust him?"
Yeah, give me an insight check, and you see at this conversation, Nica kind of starts popping her neck like she's just impatient. Nico, the other elf, is trying to restrain her as best as possible.
With Holly Reese roll intimidation to also pop her neck and try to mimic what Nica is doing.
Yeah, give me.
Guys, we're not exactly fresh here.
Give me.
Yeah, Olive would probably roll her eyes and be like, "Oh."
Holy shit! Though with a 23.
Holly Reese.
So the thing is, it's a check, so you got to do it with disadvantage.
Damn it!
Yeah, my disadvantage was hard.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
As disadvantage goes, it doesn't get much better than that.
Nica and Claria, Nica and Nica draws her sword. The centaur hefts her great axe. The pixie though backs up a bit. The elf backs up, and they do seem taken back. Nico tightens his grip on his sister's shoulder, and he says, "I don't think there needs to be violence here," to kind of whispering to her in Sylvan. So I don't know, maybe Fen would understand it, but that would...
Yeah, Fen should.
Sylvan.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he knows Sylvan.
I do too.
Yeah, so you both would hear that in Sylvan, that Nico's trying to restrain his sister.
Ollie would speak in Sylvan then and be like,
hold on a second. The insight check that you rolled, Alu, with a 7. Let me, I guess, I'll paint a picture of the team here. And this is a 7, so these are all vague feelings, but you get the sense that Nica is a zealot, and she's here to save a unicorn, and she doesn't give a shit what happens other than that. Nico seems to be maybe the reasonable one. Claria and Dapple seem dedicates to whatever Nica's cause is. Ursuline does seem to be a bear. And John Lynn, the pixie, does seem hesitant about whatever is going on here. That's kind of with a 7, that's all you get the sense of.
Okay. So again, since she understands Sylvan, she's like, "I'm tired. I don't have time for this shit. I'm annoyed." But she'd respond in Sylvan and say, "Look, here's the thing. We're not giving you the statue of," what's the unicorn's name again?
Primara.
Yes, Rolan.
You are welcome
Primavera.
with us on our journey to return her to herself.
Ooh, interesting. I'm gonna say that is everyone else kind of earnestly trying to give off that similar vibe?
Pretty much, yeah.
Holly Reese isn't wanting to fight. She wants to go home, and she doesn't know what Ali was saying. But yeah, she's gonna, in her little magic marker spell, she's gonna write "fuck off" again on her forehead.
So, are you really doing that? Because that's not gonna help your cause.
Oh no.
She's just gonna be angry, but
yeah,
standing there.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. Why not? We got a bunch of other people staying with us. We got a whole tavern.
As a group, I'm gonna let you, instead of making a persuasion check with disadvantage, if you're earnestly trying to communicate here, you can make a straight check, except for Holly Reese, who was rearing for a fight. If she makes the check, she would have to do it as a straight roll. or at disadvantage. If someone else makes a persuasion check, you can do it as a straight roll. And if Fen makes the check, he can do it with advantage.
You should do it, Fen, because he knows what I'm saying, so he should do it.
And I'll let Sprocket, if you want a guidance, you can.
Just about to say it. Yeah. Let's get a centaur living with us too. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
And a bear.
We were just trying to get ourselves patched up and then go see a black staff about a unicorn.
Is the building next to Troll Skull empty? We can turn it into extra lodging.
Brews, the one across the street is.
Like, Olive would be like up here somewhere next to Fen, but there's not enough places for her to stand next to him. She's not like intimate necessarily, but she's speaking to them, so she's come to the front.
Oh, a 20 plus a D4.
That's perception.
Oh yeah, that's not persuasion.
Oh, that's not persuasion. What is your persuasion? I'll let you roll again. Roll it as a persuasion.
I have advantage with this, but I also have a -1.
Right, so that's why I'm saying you all have a decision to make who you want to roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Holly has a +3, but she's gonna have to roll with disadvantage because she was telling them to fuck off. Everyone else can roll straight.
No, I didn't. You told me not to, so I didn't do that.
No, but you rolled an intimidation check. That's very confrontational.
Disadvantage is a no-go. Anyone with disadvantage is out. Anybody else with a positive in persuasion? Anybody like with a big score in persuasion?
I got a goose egg.
I have a +4, but you have a.
I have a +2.
Potential for a double roll.
I feel like a +4 is in the long run better than a -1. I'll throw a guidance on top of yours, personally.
Alu's gonna do it short.
You've been doing most of the speaking for us anyway, so.
All right. Well, hopefully.
Go for it.
Oh. Do not crit fail. Do not crit fail.
All right, give me
Not great.
give me the guidance.
Anybody have any inspiration left? God damn it.
So rolling dice.
So why aren't we giving them the unicorn?
You're not.
You're persuading them to join
We're
us.
trying to convince them to be like, look, just join our team and we're gonna go do this together. You can supervise if you want to.
Okay.
So.
I wish I had anything left.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Don't we have a portent of any kind? Do we have a pretty average portent?
Oh yeah, Hollyrees, do you have any portents left?
I don't think so.
You should confirm probably.
I don't think we used any of that.
Yeah, I don't recall ever using any of it.
Well, technically, if someone can aid her, it'd give her advantage. But I don't know if you're counting that as a group roll.
Yes, that is why it's at advantage even though Alu is, or it's normal even though Alu is exhausted.
Oh right.
I can use portent.
Is it better than a 7?
It's gotta be better than a 3.
Is it better than a 3?
It's an 8, I believe, right now.
Okay, so
that would be way better.
That's put you to 12, and then Alu, roll me the guidance. The other thing you can do as you're having this conversation, if you want to give Wilhelm a quick call, he'll toss you a bardic inspiration.
If Fen has another guidance, we can just see how many tiny dice we could throw at this thing.
All right, so that's 14, and then bardic inspiration gives you a D8 on top of that. So 14 plus a D8.
Cameron wants his roll.
Hey.
Yay!
All right.
Folks.
I think that's
That's cooler.
With a 22, you successfully Nika's breathing heavily and she's gripping her sword, but Nico's like I said, my sister is zealous in her pursuit of justice. She's Nico, I am she's Nica, I'm Nico. This is Claria, he points to the centaur. Dapple, he points to the other wood elf, and Jonlin, and that is Ursuline.
Hello. I'm Sprocket.
You should be able to see those names, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Nico says, yes, we would accept accompanying you to discuss things further. As the group is heading back, Nica, seeing that you have Primara, is basically going to be glued to your side, Rolan.
Fair.
Bear?
Alright.
No, Ursuline is in the back.
No, I said fair.
Oh.
Bear.
Alu want to try and make friends with the bear. Alu loves fuzzy things.
Just hang out with a bear and a giant
Yeah,
spider.
give me an animal handling check, Alu, if you're trying to be friendly. You're all like...
Animal handling, but disadvantage, I assume. That really sucks.
I see you walking towards the bear. I cast guidance.
yeah, go ahead, add a d4 to it.
Nice.
Yeah, with a 15, it doesn't bite your hand off or anything. It's not like cool being touched, but it seems okay with it. So yeah, you all, we're gonna say that this has been semi-resolved peacefully at least, and we're gonna head back to the Troll Skull Tavern, where
Oof. Nice. These people seem cool.
yeah, this could have been a fight. It would have been a fun
One we
fight.
probably would not have won. No, we have nothing left in the tank.
You don't know that.
I
got
do.
I got 3 spell slots.
Speak for yourself,
down.
Roland. All your reason's fine.
Do
Hey, you have an action surge and a big halberd. Do you have health? Whatever. We're invincible, Nate. Nothing can kill us. Not these people we're leading back to our home, who definitely will kill us if we don't agree to help them.
The unicorn. We want
Yeah.
to restore. That is our mission.
I feel like they're not going to leave our side until we do. So,
Holly and
unless we give it to Wilhelm and be like, "Hey, your problem. See ya."
that is
Yeah.
not.
Thanks for the 50 gold or whatever you promised us. No,
So-
we should make it a unicorn again. That's cooler.
The tavern is pretty crowded today.
What the fuck is Mert?
Take them to our private quarters.
We can see all the names. I can see that we got Mert and Squibbly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You do see Wilhelm as you come in. You see Wilhelm is talking to that kobold that you let go, saying like, "Yeah, no, I've got work for you. Listen, there's up on the second floor. It's something you'd probably be really interested in. Like free room and board. We'll pay you 5 silver a week. Talking terms." And the kobold's like kind of just nodding, like, "Yeah, I mean, I got nowhere else to go."
Kobold again.
Huh?
He's a little dragon person.
That
The
okay.
only one we didn't kill.
Thank you. Right. I'm just like, what is that again?
He's
All right.
like, "Listen, what my situation was not great. These group of people killed all my friends and family, but honestly, my friends and family were gonna feed me to some dragons if no food showed up. So like, I'm not like super attached to them." And I was like, "No, I got you. Listen, here's our standard contract. Blah blah blah."
Nice to my cat. If they'll be nice to my cat, he can stay in Alu's quarters.
No, he's
Yeah,
so he turns around and sees you all enter, and his eyes just get like this big.
Like, can I hurt you? We've agreed to be friends.
Wilhelm's like, "Yeah, don't worry, they're cool." And he says, I'll come back down," and he takes Kobe up to the.
Don't go in my room.
No, listen, Kobe's a kobold. He's gonna hang out with the dragon.
I was gonna say Holly Reed says introduce him to Ollie.
Well, I know they tinker too, and I don't want them messing with my stuff.
Yeah, don't touch my shit, Kobe.
Hey, has our little hobbity friend from the Xanathars, not Xanathar? Yeah, Xanathars.
Yeah, Featherfoot. Tinkleheart Featherfoot.
Not yet. Featherfoot has not
Yet. Oh, he
made
said,
an appearance yet.
okay.
Featherfoot, the weirdo that was like, who
Yeah.
Flutter-
That
Flutterfoot.
creepy,
the
the
other
weird
one
sewer jester we found.
and that Alu rescued and sent out before us?
Yeah.
His name, forgotten. To look.
No, I think I sent a letter to Featherfoot.
Yeah, Ursuline the bear is just gonna hang out on the porch. But the rest of the court of the Meadow-Wed are here and they're hanging out.
Alu's gonna grab some meat and bring it out to the bear because she wants to be friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Mert kind of perks up looking at you all and then sees the court of the Meadow-Wed, and you see him kind of shrink back down in his seat.
He's like, just kidding.
Wilhelm's like, "So, how'd it go?"
It
We're
was
not
a waste
dead.
of time.
You're not dead. That's
Ni-
what matters.
Nico's like, what do you mean a waste of time?
We were looking for something else,
Rally.
admittedly, but we happened
we
to
didn't
stumble
find
across
it.
we happened to stumble across Primera here.
Yeah, we found your unicorn instead.
She's
You're
not
welcome.
my unicorn. She belongs to the forest.
Okay, we found the forest. You know what? Holly
Shut up,
Reese
you
is
fucking
gonna-
hippie.
Yeah, Holly Reese is like, I'm gonna go take a bath. I'm going out to my room. Don't bother me.
Yeah. Listen, make yourselves at home. Bars open. Feel free to take a load off for a bit. We're gonna get cleaned up, and then I gotta go see somebody about this situation so we can get this unicorn to her natural habitat.
Yeah,
And I look behind the bar as and I think to myself, are any of the workers
They're in the
here?
kitchen area. Yeah.
All right. I have questions, and I'm going to go find them.
Sure thing. You're heading to the halflings?
Yes.
Sure thing.
While he's doing that, Ollie's gonna like sit down with Nico and Nica and be like, "So, what is your plan to free up our lady here?" This is a weird, like, where do we go? Oh, wow. Who went where?
I'll stick Nico's following Rolan wherever he goes. Nico will sit down and talk with you though. He and Dapple and Johnlin will hang out with you.
I want to talk to people. He's leaving the unicorn with us.
Roland's
like I feel like we'd like probably wouldn't like he wouldn't be just lugging it all over the place. It would stay with like the majority of the group.
We're at our home base here.
It's up to y'all to decide. You tell me what you do, and my characters will respond appropriately.
I'll be like, "It's cool, Roland. You can leave it with me. Thanks for carrying it."
Fine. I will leave it.
Carrying the lovely princess here.
I will give the unicorn to Alu.
Okay.
She's probably got better means of holding on to it than I do.
I'd say hold on to it in your inventory, Roland, but Alu has it for now.
Yeah. I'm about to go have a private conversation I don't necessarily want new strangers to hear about.
Yeah. So
have it on the table in like with the group, and basically like, let's brainstorm. How do we return her to herself and to her forest?
Yeah, absolutely. So Alu's going to have a conversation with the court of the Meadow-Wed. Holly Reese is going up to her room to bathe. Roland is going to talk to the halflings. What about Spev right now?
I think at this point, Spev's going to go upstairs, check on Stilgar, and just drop off all the extra crap he accumulated, and just he might still have like not his full armor, but sort of his not fully casual wear, and kind of just head back down to the main room. He's going to draft up some papers, but he wants to keep an eye on these new people and just make sure they don't try something in because Alu's by herself.
Yeah, sure. What about Fen? What are you doing?
I think
Ian, I don't know if you know, but like your camera's on, but you
we
are
can only see the
invisible.
herb tree.
Yeah.
I must be leaning back in your chair.
Okay, I'll fix that while I answer this question.
He cast Pass Without Trace.
Yeah. Oh God, where'd he go?
That is so smart.
He needs to tend to his boy Reggie and make sure Reggie's doing okay. I mean, like bond with Reggie, because Reggie this is the first time Reggie's like
been in combat.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggie's seen a lot today.
Yeah,
Sure.
you go over, you've got some carapace cream that you can rub down Reggie with, attend to his injuries. Wilhelm will come over and hang out with you, Alu, just kind of lending a helping hand. So let's start with Roland. You head to the back, you drop off Primara. What are you doing?
I'm gonna head to the back. I'm gonna double check and see if anybody's following me besides people who I intend to speak with.
Yeah, no, I mean Leaf's at the bar. Danica, Kelso, Dasher, and Bran are in the back doing dishes and stuff.
Okay. I'll say my
Actually, ooh,
pleasantries.
this is a fun opportunity. Yeah, you know what? The street urchins follow you. They see that you're back, and they're like, "Mr. Jotaro, Mr. Jotaro, did you go on another adventure today?"
I mean, yeah, you could say it was a busy day at the office. If you want to see the cool stuff we found, it's on the table over there.
Oh, okay, yeah. They'll run over and take a look.
Yeah, it's a talking statue. That with a unicorn that lives inside.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna try and shuffle them off, and then oh, there's Ian. I'm gonna try and corral the halflings in the back and say like, hey, you guys take a quick 5 with me real quick. I got something I'm gonna ask you about.
Yeah, absolutely. They say, "What's up, boss?" and they get together around you.
Yeah. And I'll be like, listen, I had some questions for you all the other day about certain groups of people. And I look behind me, like making sure definitely nobody's behind me. When I found out your all's common talent, shall we say, I asked you about what it was like and what the different types were and how they all get along together. Do you all...
Oh, do you want to come to an orgy?
No.
God.
No, thank you.
Listen, boss, I appreciate you, but I'd like to keep our relationship strictly professional.
So I'm just going to unsheath the Garbo baby sword real quick, but not in like a threatening manner.
Yeah.
But like I'm just going to hold up my hand.
Yeah.
And just place the silver part of the blade on it, and then take it away.
Yeah.
And watch the allergic reaction.
Yeah, you see this rash forms across your palm where you touch the sword, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
I think I might have picked something up from the last orgy I was at, if you get my meaning.
Danica's like, "Oh shit."
I just found out today. And
I mean, you should at least tell Brenda you're positive, right?
Well, we haven't even gotten to first base yet, so I don't think she has to worry about anything yet. But I wanted to ask you all about your first times.
Oh my god.
Dasher looks up at you, and his eyes take a faraway stare.
Mine was very uncomfortable in the back of a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it was at summer camp. I was playing with some woodland creatures, and we were digging for turnips in the farmer's yard, and I got bit by a rat. And then like 2 weeks later, during the full moon, I felt myself transform and shrink down, and I got like, he thinks about it for a little bit, and he says, honestly, it was pretty scary. I lost control my first time. I mean, the nice thing is,
get easier?
Says, yeah, over time it gets easier.
How long?
Get like, they look at each other like, I mean, it's been different for each of us, I think. I'm not a doctor type, but for us, like transformation or 2, I think. Sometimes it could get easier like right away. Some of us it took longer, but you get this powerful urge from these instincts you have. For us, it's things like take that stuff, or hide, that kind of thing. But
drag that pizza slice from the New York subway up those stairs.
Yeah. They
Adopt a
said
baby.
it kind of depends on what bit you. The bears are okay. I mean, they get kind of an urge to fight, but they're mostly okay.
That's understandable.
Boars get super aggressive and hostile. What else is there? Tigers are tigers. Then wolves are, just hungry, and they just want to rip and tear.
Interesting. Okay. So I had my past as well as Sven's past is a little tangled up with one of these individuals. And for a while, I thought I could understand their mentality by talking to you all and understanding that it's not this aspect of them that makes them who they are. And I have a chance to witness firsthand what might have been happening with this other person for me to greater understand what's been going on with them and whether or not it was truly an accident of this terrible thing that they've done to me and Fen. I have a chance to really truly get behind the eyes, so to speak. If this becomes a problem, I'm sure there's something that can happen that can fix my situation or correct my alteration here, but I'm looking to understand more than anything.
Dasher says, I mean, the next full moon's in a couple nights. You've got some strong friends around you. I'd just be prepared for them to have to restrain or maybe guide you a little bit.
How
What bit you?
intelligent? I have the lupine variety.
Kelso does a whole body shudder at that and says, the first time's gonna be rough on you, but this shouldn't be something if you keep this from other people, you're gonna hurt other people.
So I'm gonna it's not that they don't know. We actually found out together. They know my situation, at least the rest of the adventuring party does. We actually found out due to this thing, and I don't unsheath it. I just motioned to the new glaive on my back. It emits moonlight, and it kind of gave me a brief preview of coming attractions, shall we say, and then not to mention, my new allergies.
Bryn Hilltopple says, she points to the shit. What are you? A gray? Fuck! I totally forgot the name.
Force gray.
That's it. She points to the Force gray emblem you have on your chest, and says, honestly, if you're looking to cure it or something, the Blackstaff would, and the knowledge that the Blackstaff has accumulated might be the best place to go for that sort of information.
We have to go there anyway for another unrelated, tangentially related situation. But I at least want to have this experience of knowing what that person was going through when they did what they did.
Dasher nods and says, I mean, when that night comes before the sun sets, you should get down in the cellar with your companions.
That was my next thing, is I don't actually want them to worry about it or have to deal with it. If one of you has time today, because I've got other things I need to be doing, unfortunately, I need you to buy the biggest lock you can and see if we can't outfit the cellar door with it. I also want to find something very, very heavy to put on top of that thing. Basically, I'm going to go grocery shopping, find something to satiate this thing, and then I want to pretty much lock myself in that room and try to have a true moment of empathy.
Yeah. Danica nods and says, we can do that for you. You notice that they're normal, cheerful, the jokes and things. It's been that energy has been replaced with a solemnity amongst them that they say, yeah, we'll do that for you.
Thank you. This is a pretty important, I don't want to say opportunity, but an experience that I'd really like to understand more, and I appreciate your cooperation.
We'll take that note to head over to, let's see, if Spev came down and Holly, you're just hanging out in the bath, and Fen, you're taking care of Reggie, then we'll go to Alu.
So Alu is chatting with all the folks. like brainstorming how we can return. I'm gonna call her Perdita, which I know is incorrect. I'm gonna keep getting that name wrong.
Primara.
Primara, thanks. It's gonna be like a thing. Uh, Chatting with them, and then like also like including Primara in the conversation because she can speak for herself as well.
Yeah.
To
Um,
herself.
that kind of Nica just seems to be growing impatient, but Nico's keeping a handle on her. Dapple, Nico, Claria, and Jonlin talk about their like the court of the Meadow-Wed, and it's basically like they in the kind of trackless wilds between civilizations. They Nica established this court to protect those who can't protect themselves. So it's one of the rare forms of justice out in the wilds. To that end, like when she heard that a unicorn, something sacred and of the the purest example of the prime material nature of the world had been taken from the wilds and entrapped in the city, they made it their quest to come rescue her. Um, Nica seems adamant that returning her to the sacred grove that they are from will allow Primara to transform.
Does Primara agree that that would work? She can speak for herself.
Primara is, she's like, um, she says, I mean, we haven't tried it before, but I'm pretty sure that only great directed, it won't just be the force of nature. It needs to be the great directed magic. A great crafted spell is what would free me, for I was put here by a wizard of great power.
She's basically saying she doesn't think that would work. So Alu's gonna be like, look, we're gonna do our best. Obviously, we're going to listen to Primara. She would know best what we need to do. And we've got some connections that might be able to help us. And we're certainly willing to work with you. We know that you want what's best for her as well. So instead of working against us, Nica, work with us.
Yeah, I think with your earlier persuasion check, Nica is annoyed, but you've mollified her. They ask about like accommodations and stuff. Wilhelm says that there's an expansion that is being built across the street, but they are more than welcome to stay there in the short term. He says it's not the most comfortable dwelling in the world, but if they're used to sleeping in the forest, it'll still be nicer. It's got beds and stuff.
Cool. I think that I'm assuming when Rolan comes back, we'll potentially take this to the Blackstaff as well. And
yeah, what do you all want to like rest for the night and like, or do anything else?
Would I have any idea how? I've been kind of sitting in the corner working on sketchbooks and designs, but like, would I have any idea what it'd take to break this? Because knowing kind of how magic items work a bit.
I think that you, Spev, you have the identify spell.
I do indeed.
helpful.
I think that if you wanted to get with Holly in a quiet moment and really examine Primara, you could maybe learn. You feel confident that while you don't know right now, you could spend some time studying, examining, and going through both of your reference sources and figuring out what's happening here.
I will kind of having that idea. I will saddle up to the group and kind of let them know, like, well, I mean, I know you may not believe in the type of magic and science I do, but I think we might be able to examine it and figure it out. Some kind of low key way we can break through this.
I think we should take Primara up to Sprocket's workshop. It's at the top of the house. It's got to get through all kinds of everything up between us and the dragon before anyone could harm her.
Certainly, I have a couple dials and gauges that I can work on when I'm up there and do some tests overnight and have results for you in the morning.
Yeah, Wilhelm's with you all, like convincing them with a 15 on his persuasion, which is actually really low. I fucking rolled an 8. Um, they seem comfortable with that. They say we'll if Primara's out of our sight, we'd prefer to stay here. But he's like, look, it's gonna be okay. We're here to help. Nico talks with
Nica that she can crash in her room
yeah.
if she feels that like that's fine.
Yeah, Nico will crash here. The others will stay. You can absolutely do that, Spev. Kind of spend you want to sleep tonight. You're not going to stay up all night, but you and Holly will get together and examine Primara, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll work on it and just kind of do some tests throughout the night. Yeah, do my Sprocket. So,
mean
who are these
Alu?
people in my room?
No,
Who are these
Holly.
people
I mean you, because you are a trained wizard. You
Oh,
know
yeah,
magic
okay.
stuff.
Got it.
That's Suri and Perdita. Perdita's the ghost girl. Suri's the another were-rat. They were just coming up here to hang out with Silgar.
All right, cool.
You got a
Keeping
cool
company.
goldfish. Perdita's like 9 years old and dead, so she likes to play with the fish.
All right, okay, cool.
And Suri's her older sister.
I forget about our entire entourage, but yeah, I will certainly set up whatever tests I can and go to rest. And
Yeah,
I'll offer if anyone wants to stay in the room to keep like a close eye on it so it doesn't leave their sight. They can saddle up against a pile of gears. But
I think they're successfully mollified if Nika's in the room. You guys have played things pretty straight with them. I'm gonna move the party off the map, but they're basically Wilhelm misled them a little bit. He's basically letting them squat in Froon's brews while no one owns it.
Or Alu has every intention.
is he
of
charging them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's charging them.
His real estate empire has begun.
Yeah.
Oh, Alu wants that building.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll get it. You got to buy it, but you'll get it. So I'll say this. Fen, is there anything you want to do before you kind of crash for the night? Long rest?
No, I've talked to Reggie.
All right.
He's like he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty good. He's excited for, if you remember, Reggie was actually a gift to you by one of your one night stands. He's excited for her to come back into town. I think she's going to come back into, huh?
One of them.
Well, yeah.
Just one of the many.
He's
Well,
like, "Oh,
it's established canon. Wilhelm fucking pimps you out. Yeah, he's making money. We established that many sessions ago.
We sure did.
Exploited. I'm not getting any cut of that, am I?
Yeah, you're not getting a like
wait.
if you remember, like anytime you're down in the tavern, Wilhelm finds a way to like tear your shirt and just spill like olive oil all over you. Yeah.
It's a symbiotic relationship. What can I say?
Yeah. There's after your performance at the championship, there's demand for a piece of fen in town, and Wilhelm is here to meet that demand.
People are waking up.
It's all demands.
Yeah. So Fen, Reggie's kind of chilling. Reggie can't talk to you. It's not your familiar, but you get the sense of like what's going on here. Holly reads, as a ritual, you can cast Find Familiar. So you get Albie back. We'll say you can have Albie back. Same thing with at a long rest spell.
I'll be back.
You get Spanner back.
Yeah, I'd have to do a ritual in the morning, but that's fine. Take 10 minutes to get him back.
Sure thing. So
I'm also going to use one infusion to get boots of elven kind.
Yeah.
So I realize I can build a pair.
Spev and Holly, if you're the two that are examining the statue, you're examining Primara. Spev, you cast Identify.
Yeah, dog.
Primara is a magical unicorn statue. She is not a real unicorn.
What?
Oh. So, okay, wait. Cast and Hall Identify. Does it seem like the memories are an illusion? Does she fully believe that she was a unicorn turned to stone, or this is actually just a piece of rock thought to have the unicorn memory?
This is a chunk of marble it believes it's a real unicorn.
I think Sprocket and Holly just like slow look at each other like
Holly, as you are examining Primara, you touch her and you get a flash forward. You see 5 shadows at an ornate golden vault door. You see 4 alcoves. One of them is filled with the Waterdeep elemental statue. One of them has Primara in it. And you see, of those 5 shadows, one has a dagger behind their back as the door is open.
She's a key to never.
God damn it. All right, so maybe that is still worth our time here. Good.
And you got another milestone. Guess what? On the long rest, you all get to level up.
So we also have a tavern full of people who believe this is a real unicorn who are gonna come at it for with claw and sword.
It's so exciting.
You're beaming. You're beaming, sir.
I love it when it all comes together. Webs within webs.
Is there a way for us to convince them that she is actually just a statue that believes she's a real unicorn? Or do we delay the ritual to turn her back into a real unicorn?
I think we had a group meeting to decide that one.
Yeah, that is. As the dungeon master, I set up the scenario. As the players, you solve and navigate it.
We take the statue to the Blackstaff. They need to know anyway if we're going to be like we need to go to the Blackstaff anyway. I feel like.
Yeah.
And they can probably use their authority and or their expertise to show them this thing is misrepresented as an enchanted item.
Here's another in
Not
addition
a bad idea.
In addition, hey Sprocket, do you think you could make its consciousness like an animatronic body so its consciousness could at least move even if it's not a unicorn?
Make it a metal unicorn body. That'd be sick as hell.
I feel like they would see that as blasphemous to give it a not pure body of magic and glitter, but I can certainly try.
I'm just saying, if we can convince them that it's not a real unicorn, but Primara is a real consciousness. Like she has consciousness, therefore she's real.
She thinks, therefore she is.
Yeah, therefore we just need to give her a body and convince her that she's not a real unicorn, but she's still a real unicorn inside of her. We just need to give her a body that she can use, you know?
Oh, this has gone in such wonderful directions that I wasn't prepared for, but I love every moment of this.
Oh, well, at the Hall of Inspired Hands, there is a Nimblewright body that is still at 50% functioning. Maybe we can move the consciousness into there. I have no idea what it would take, but with the certain bright minds there, certainly could figure it out. Yeah, we could free it into a metal body.
What if we need the consciousness to find
we can
treasure?
do it after we find.
Well, then we just bring the Nimblewright with us.
We can do that too. We can bring everybody. Hell, kind of just party. We need extra bodies for Neverember's Enigma.
What if these other guys are looking for Neverember's treasure and this whole she's a real unicorn hippie bullshit is a ruse?
We don't know that. No one rolled insight on them, so.
Well, Alu did, but I think she got a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you all you catch each other up. You're hanging out in the tavern. Nika's gonna crash in Alu's room. It's been a long journey for the court of the Meadow-Wed. They're going to bed.
Suddenly this looks bad.
Gonna chill out on Nika's shoulder and be like, "Hey, granola crunchy cheeseburger person, you must love me."
It sounds like you want a long rest and then head over to Blackstaff's tower. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Rolan, you get Primara back. You've got Primara. So everyone can take a long rest. Now, we're going to do a couple things. Normally we do the leveling off camera, but this is the middle of an episode. So here is how long rests work for those who are sick. Fen, you get to long rest like normal, do your normal thing, and go ahead and level up. Spev, you have a point of exhaustion, but you're not sick. Your long rest cures your point of exhaustion, and you can go ahead and do your full long rest stuff, get half your max hit die back, and go ahead and level up to level 7.
Yippee.
Alu,
Three of us.
yeah, Alu, Holly, and Rolan, you are going to long rest. Before you do, I need you to make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
DC 11 Constitution. How do I do that?
Roll me a
Just set up-
Constitution saving throw, and you want to beat an 11.
18, baby.
Roland, your body naturally has overcome sewer plague. You're no longer sick.
Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine, kids.
You, Roland and Alu, you both recover a level of exhaustion. You are no longer sick. You can go through your normal stuff. Holly Reese,
I know.
with a 10,
Holly Reese.
you gain another level of exhaustion.
Oh no.
You now have 2 levels of exhaustion. For
there any
your
to
long...
Holly?
Say it again.
Is there any way for us to cure her?
Lesser restoration.
Yeah, there's lesser restoration. Holly Reese, we didn't do this earlier, but technically you all should only recover half the normal number of hit points from spending hit dice. We didn't do that. We forgot about that. Holly Reese, you don't recover
Really?
any hit points from finishing a long rest because they were sick.
Oh.
And Holly
gross.
Reese, your long rest, you've got 2 levels of exhaustion, and you don't you recover your hit dice that you spent, but you don't recover. You don't go back to full health.
So
And you get up the next morning and you're feeling pretty awful.
Like- is lesser restoration
fun.
a almost like healing hands kind of thing?
It's a spell. It's a spell called Lesser Restoration.
What's
Got
help me
it.
do math? 32 minus what is 23? 9? 10?
Yeah, 9. So you're at 23. You do still level up. Everyone's levels up to level 7. Yay!
Yeah. All right.
And we're gonna cut here, and we're gonna come right back after the level up. All right, we are back. The camera soars above the land of Faerun, this continent of mystery and wonder, zooming in on the western coast, the Sword Coast, zooming in on the city of Waterdeep, the city of splendors, into Troll Skull Alley, and into the Troll Skull Manor. It is Eliant the 28th. Everyone has had a pretty good night's rest the night before. Ignore that, audience. And we are checking in on everyone. You all have leveled up to level 7. You've taken your long rests. So let's do some quick recaps. Roland, as a level 7 fighter, what goodies did you get?
I got maneuvers. I got 2 new maneuvers. I got a disarming attack, so I will be taking things away from people and kicking them across the room. And then I also got a precision attack, which will help me up my to hit. So I'll probably be using that in tandem with my Great Weapon Master. So hopefully I will be landing more damage and putting people in timeout, taking their toys away, that kind of thing. And then I also have an ability where if I stare at somebody long enough for about a minute or so, I can get a read on them in a couple different aspects. So maybe, just maybe, I'll put that to use. I don't know.
Get
Never
an
used
assessment. I dig it.
Yeah.
Then we've got Alu. Alu, you've taken your 7th level in your roguishness. You and
Yeah.
Nico were kind of like slumber girlfriends, having a little sleepover last night. You wake up
Right.
well rested. What are you? What have you learned?
So Alu has learned evasion, so I can now nimbly dodge and any dexterity saving throws. If I fail them, I take half damage, and if I succeed, I take no damage, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah,
It is
pretty good.
pretty preem. And
Yeah.
dexterity saves are the most common saves in the game, so you'll get a lot of value out of that.
Which is awesome, except I know you're going to throw charisma saves at me.
I gotta throw everything at you again. I
Banishment,
know.
banishment for everyone.
I know
Right?
you all view it's like, oh my god, Cameron's so hard, but look, no character has permanently died yet. The last
Idle
fight,
away.
you've
Yeah,
only like had
trying,
two.
Cameron.
You fought 5 dragons, and only 2 people even went down. So clearly, like you guys are just rocking it.
For the record,
Barely
Speaking
been
of,
maimed.
Ben is the one who does most of the bitching, and it's not really because of Cameron. It's because Rangers are dog water. But Cameron's doing great. Good job, kid.
oh, I appreciate that. I have.
I freak out. It's mostly because Nate knows. Nate, the player, knows, and I'm trying not to lose it, but I do a poor job of it.
I forget. I think it was in our last episode, but we talked a bit about the feedback of like we've gotten some feedback on the show and my DMing style, and it was like Cameron seems to like to torture players, but people keep playing with it. I'm like, you know what? That's fair.
That's we're contractually
Sprocket,
obligated.
You took your 7th level as an artificer. You not only, I mean, you haven't done it yet, but you've gotten some new tools to upgrade the defenses of the house. But you've also gotten some new magic tools yourself at 7th level. Did you learn new spells and stuff?
Spell department, I get another 2nd level slot, which is great. I'm up to 3 on those bad boys. I don't think I got any more number of spells that I can use besides that slot. But I do get something real cool. Flash of Genius is an artificer thing, and yeah, as a reaction, anyone I see within 30 feet, I can just add a straight +4 to their roll, and I can do that 4 times before I get a long rest of that back. So like, it's just Sprocket's way of saying like, oh, I can do it better. And
any sort of check or any roll,
ability check or saving throw. So
Gotcha.
So no attacks, but
A guaranteed maxed out guidance.
we have guidance. We
You
have
do both,
Flash of
actually.
Genius. You have Bardic Inspiration. You really, if you prepare properly, you shouldn't be failing checks at this point. I dig it.
I'm
I got
running
a
out of
couple-
mine, but I'm glad to still have it.
Yeah.
This is the good stuff. This is the high class.
Nice. I moved a couple of my infusions around, so now I have like more stealth options and underwater options. But I got a lot more gadgets.
Preparing for stuff, I see. I dig it.
There's a harbor, and there's something in the harbor.
Yeah, I love it. We don't really get to see Wilhelm too much anymore, but I have been leveling him, and he learned some new spells recently. So I gave him. He's got Lesser Restoration now. He's got Enhance Ability. He's got Greater Invisibility and Heat Metal. So if I did get to play this character, I'd have a lot of fun, but we don't. So Holly, what have you've had a pretty busy day. You slept in. You woke up probably pretty late. You feel like shit.
Yeah.
You've got 2 levels of exhaustion. The sewer sickness is really like your breath just reeks. Albie's back at least, so that's nice.
That's good. Yeah.
Or wait, is it Albie or Artie? It's Artie, isn't it?
Albie.
Albie.
Oh, I thought you named him
My
after
beloved character Albie.
I thought you named
No.
him after Ardor for some reason.
No, this is Artie.
It's harder.
All right, Albie, got it.
Albie.
Awesome.
Nerd.
Yeah, so you're not feeling so good.
Taking
but
him
you
for
did
walks is
still
just the
level
pits.
up. Can you tell us what your premonitions for this new day are, the 28th?
My premonition.
Your portents.
Your core subclass feature, your portents.
Roll them dice.
Yeah, I did it last week.
No, right. What are they for today?
I'm telling you, it's 4 and 13.
There. Okay. Thank you. Oh, so that's a pretty good. Like that's
Yeah.
turning someone's miss into a hit, and then an enemy's hit into a miss. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Especially with the bonuses stacked on here. Terrific. And then you learned some new spells. You got some new magic goodies and all that stuff.
I did. I leveled up and I got some chocolate teddy grams and wall of fire and
What
I'm
level
an
spell is
elemental,
chocolate teddy
right?
grams?
9. Then chocolate tedigrams is by
Ninth level.
definition a 9th level spell. Yeah, it's basically as
Yeah.
powerful as a wish spell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wall of Fire is awesome.
That's gonna be
I
really
know
good.
it is.
And then you've got and you can now cast spells. You got a 4th level spell slot. You are supremely magical. Those days of you using your crossbow are long gone.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome, Fen.
Fen, speaking of, you in fact level up. Now we know how you feel about your own identity as a ranger.
Conflicted.
But how is level 7 treating you? Better than level 6, I hope.
I picked up Ethereal Step, so that's nice. It basically makes me Night Crawler for like once a session, which is cool. I'm happy with that. That's about it. Cameron, for the record, for the people out there who think that Cameron is really harsh on the players, in his great beneficence and sort of generosity, he's offered to let me replace the dog water slasher. Unfortunately,
What
the
was that
isn't all
last
better than
singing
slasher, so
slasher?
if the slasher is, it's
Yeah.
kind of like it is what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's I get to be Nightcrawler now, so not so bad. Happy with that.
You're
I
basically
dig it.
uncageable. You as soon as you get locked up, you can just walk away.
Yeah,
And what I love about Fen is that he's like a big, stupid, stubborn piece of meat. Like the gods look down on Fen and they're like, nah, this
Yeah.
guy's gonna have a hard time. And
He's-
Fen is just there like just
Fuck
He's-
you.
over and over again. He's got the option to check out and he is not doing it. I dig it.
Get it to the-
You know, for that reason, like Fen wakes up today, he's rested, Reggie's here, and he's just his bleary eyes are adjusting to the light. I say it's been a while, but Fen, take a point of inspiration
Yeah.
for sticking to your guns. Now,
So encouraged by the way Reggie acquitted himself. So
yes, I really liked. I did like before the break. You took some moment to like bond with Reggie, which you hadn't done before. So this is just a reminder that I reward inspiration for cool role playing moments or very creative problem solving. So in this case, Fen having that very nice role playing moment where bonding with Reggie, and the fact that he's sticking to his guns despite how shitty and rusted they are.
Yeah.
He gets a point of inspiration. Absolutely.
and I was, petting Reggie, his spider fur, and he was like, "Bro, get the fuck off me, dog." No
Dude,
problem.
And then he bit you, and then you got spider powers.
Big ass spider.
Yeah, so it is the next
You
day.
talk about meat.
You all wake up pretty early in the morning. You went to bed not super late. You wake up pretty early in the morning. Nica of the Court of the Meadow-Wed is in your room, Alu. She's crashing there. The rest of the Court of the Meadow-Wed, they're over. Basically, they're squatting in Fruin's Brews, but they don't know it because Wilhelm is charging them money, despite the fact that we don't own that yet. And yeah, what all do you want to? It's a new day. We talked about going to the Blackstaff's Tower last time. There's information gathering to be done. You can reach out to your contacts. It's kind of a new day to decide what you all want to do. Who comes downstairs first?
Roland's gonna join Reggie in making
Hello,
breakfast.
typically are up first, yeah.
Yeah,
Dennis, for the first time ever.
I'd
Yeah.
say that Ollie's definitely up as normal. She's probably perched somewhere on a stool or on a countertop eating an apple because she loves to peel it with her knife in one piece of nice curly apple skin. It's her favorite thing to do.
Oh, I dig it.
Reference.
Very specific.
I mean, part of the reason is because I cannot do that in real life. But Ollie was a wizard with knives.
Yes.
Psychic knives.
Hell, she could peel it with her psychic dagger and not even.
That is true. Yeah, Alu, Roland, and Reggie, you're being the first ones down. I get Spev, Holly, and Roland or Spev, Holly, and Fen are choosing to sleep in a bit.
I'm probably in my room tinkering.
Yeah, Wilhelm will join you all. You're getting ready. Nat, Jinx, and Squidly, the urchins, come in again as soon as you open the door. But they are also not accompanied by, but someone else comes in. It's still not quite light out. Maybe just the first hints of sunshine coming out from where sun rises in the east. So I guess it would be like the mountains that sit kind of around the valley that Waterdeep sits in. You see a gnome, two gnomes, adults, and kind of a gaggle of gnome kids come in quietly, and the family sits in the corner. The gnome steps forward to Alu and says, "Lady Alu, I brought my family here."
Okay, this is a Shuri moment. I'm like wicked excited about that. I've forgotten who this gnome is though. Can you remind me of myself, not the player? The player, not the character.
Yeah,
My good friend, this guy. Who is he?
What's his
he's.
name?
Hey you, hey you, it's good
Yeah.
to see you again.
As a
How's
character,
it going,
How's it going, friend?
buddy? Yeah.
Fort?
Even a cat is phasing
I
into
would remember.
existence.
I can look it up too, but like if you remember
So
off the top
yeah,
of your head.
he's not jingling or jangling. He doesn't have
jungling.
his makeup on
Oh,
or his clown costume. He's exhibiting a very different personality than when you last saw him. But with your massive passive insight, you recognize this is Flutterfoot.
Yes.
So Alice
He's
is
back.
thrilled that he's here. She's gonna welcome him with open arms, ask Reggie to serve his family breakfast, and invite him in. She's gonna
Yeah.
get whatever information from him he has at the time in
Yeah.
a kind of loving and like not overt way.
Yeah, they kind of take their plates. They sit in a corner. They all thank you. He clearly, with your passive insight of 15, you can just tell that he's like extremely nervous. He seems pretty terrified. If you want to dive a little more deep as you're conversing with him, if you're trying to be subtle about it, give me an insight roll as you're kind of talking, trying to be nonchalant and talk like, about the weather, but get a little more insight into his state of mind.
She's doing it subtly for his family and his
Yeah.
sake. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully that's not a terrible roll.
Nah, it's 17.
Dang.
Yeah. You and Spev up there, he can sense if he wants to give guidance or brilliant. What is it called?
Spark of inspiration.
Yeah, you don't need to do that in this case, but
Yeah,
your
I can't see
nose like wrinkles as like you're like someone needs me.
I can help. You're scrambling the attic.
Yeah. You I guess looking at the family, like the wife is clearly, she has her concerns, but she doesn't seem to be fully aware. The kids all seem to be like, "Oh, we're on vacation. Yay, we're we're in a different part of the city." Flutterfoot, like he talks to you about, he introduces the kids and the whole family and stuff. But basically, what you pick up is, like Xanathar is alive and super pissed, and he's purging the old guild of just everyone, and pulling new recruits from the Underdark, pulling whatever threads he can to find Silgar. That's his primary concern, is where is Silgar.
Silgar's the goldfish, right?
Yeah, and
In the attic.
Flutterfoot, like,
I also know this, or I know that we know that Spev took the goldfish, but do we know that Silgar is the goldfish?
Flutterfoot like would share that information.
Okay.
Basically, like he's talking to you, and again in a way that his kids don't know, but he's informing you, and you can tell with your 17 insight he's being on the level about all this. Like Xanathar was looking for the eye. He's convinced that the Zentarum had one, or have one. He's very convinced. Xanathar's he believes that the Zentarum took an eye from Raynor Neverember during the kidnapping, that he had an eye on him and they took it from him at some point. So that might be some new information that you didn't necessarily know. He believes that one of the noble families in Waterdeep has one, but he's not sure which one. But he's not concerned about that. He wants Silgar and fuck everything else. He's putting an army together to burn the city down to the ground to get his Silgar back. And Flutterfoot's like, I can't go back. My family can't go back. We need to either hide or get out of the city as soon as possible. Kind of. That's where Flutterfoot's like, I just need to get out of here.
So Alu would immediately, like she'd have one of the little hobbit friends go reach out to all of her friends in the dock ward and around the city, not speaking about who Flutterfoot is or any of his details, but just looking for like a place for his family. Like she's gonna put him into like the witness protection.
Yeah.
Find a place for him.
So I think what I want to have in my notes is the resources you are using here. Let's see. So, Flutterfoot Witsec.
Yeah, I've got Mantra.
Yes, Mantra's your mentor.
My mentor. So I've got him. I would reach out to. I would use my little sparrow children.
Yeah.
So like all little ragamuffins throughout the city that she.
And like the shard runners.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And, the guy that Rolan killed at the beginning and his son.
Oh yeah.
Those two are like solidly Alu's besties.
Yes. So basically, everywhere you have in your network, would you also be, because you have been spending, that's the other thing we need to do. You have been spending time, off time, establishing shrines to Aedan, and through the good works that you've done, right? Like you saved the two younger members of the what were they called? The Doom Runners, that sect of the Zentarum. The Doom Raiders. Like you've essentially gotten some people very dedicated to you and your religion through your example. Would you be exercising that as well?
Absolutely. I actually think that it's like a awesome way for her to find a safe place for these people without it coming back to like their heroic crew. Like that's like separate. Like this is a religion. She started it, but like it's on the DL, like it's down low.
And it's essentially right. They're about doing good works for the people in the city. So yeah, it's, hey, we have some like essentially some refugees that we need to home and set up and get to a safe place. So that's absolutely something the network can do. So if that's the case, I think I need 2 checks. And if you want, you can leverage whatever resources you want to maximize the possibility of succeeding here. The first check, I think, is an investigation check, and the second check is a religion check.
All right. My religion is terrible, but...
Which is ironic.
Okay. 18 on
Sometimes
investigation.
religious people are very bad at religion.
I mean, it's a +1. It's just not like a thing. Let's see. Yes.
Okay.
Those are good checks. I'm happy with.
So this is a process that will take some time to see the results of, but I do have those noted.
I love that I have a rat. Thank God. I started a cult for it.
I think we've talked about this before, but I have, so in addition to the milestones that you all have, as you level up, everyone has the possibility to gain an additional level in a class that is not your main class. So Alu, in your case, if you grow your religion to a certain point, you'll gain a level in cleric. And it's not like everyone will gain a level. Alu will just be level 8 and have a level in cleric. I have something set up for each of you if you dive into certain things regarding your character. So like Ian's looking. Ian, investigate your wife's murder.
I don't,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alu definitely would be like, not because she wants to, but because she's like, she's responsible for this rat baby. She's had this monumental experience when she died, so she's very dedicated to doing, like, not only is she connected to this as a god, like something that is supernatural and beyond normal conception, but it's also a child, so like she's got this like motherly
A very
connection.
personal, right? Yeah.
So like she's like invested. So
And-
I would definitely be.
And we've
she-
talked about it before. There's something, and you don't know what it is, but when you view the rat baby, they feel like your little brother.
I was weirdly gonna be like that, especially if she murdered her brother.
Yeah.
I don't-
So there's something there that we haven't figured out yet. But yeah, so like, and that's where we've on each new day, right? You've been spending some amount of your downtime working on the cult of Aeodon.
Yes.
So I have been keeping track of that growth. But yeah, awesome. So
How
Alu,
gently, like, not but
Right.
like be like, hey, Flutterfoot, if you want to like say
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
to Aegon.
especially with the 19 religion check, it's essentially it's likely that cultists of Aeodon in the city are going to be the primary, like they're going to function as an underground railroad for this family.
I'm super
kind of
excited
thing.
about that.
But yeah, so that's set up. They thank you all. Wilhelm says, "Oh, I've got a place you can hide out while it's still dark," and he takes them over to Froon's Brews to chill out for now. So that is
The
Alu.
only other thing I want to say is that
Yes.
because she knows that Xanathar is looking for this fish, she would probably tell Sprocket that nothing needs to get rid of the fish. He needs to just put it in a different home so that it no longer has any of the trappings that it came with. And like,
Oh,
get
like a
rid-
different jar,
yeah,
paint
it
it
needs
like
it
green
needs
or
an
something.
aquarium of its own.
Spray
Yeah.
paint the outside of the orb.
Put
that it's
a
contained in.
mustache. Put a
Yeah,
mustache on the
mustache
fish.
fish, yes, it needs a disguise.
Yeah, I
Like,
got
share
you.
that information with Sprocket for sure.
Awesome. So yeah,
Got a
that's
really good cloth I can throw over it.
yeah. That's Alu. Roland, what about you? This first thing you're doing in the morning. Anything else besides just making breakfast, hanging out?
Roland's got a particularly personal life event coming up now that he knows the calendar.
Yeah.
And so he's already started to work with some of the other staff to prep for this.
Yes.
But I believe he's going to go probably.
To that end, they did. So when you come down, Dasher is there waiting for you. He says, "I've got something to show you." He goes and he opens up a chest in the back. There is 20 feet of silver chain and silver locks in this chest, and he said, it's pretty ornate work. It did cost me 100 gold pieces, but I got what you were looking for.
It cost you 100 gold? Oh man. Okay.
We got to make sure, Nathan.
Hang on. Let me check my inventory real fast because I mean,
Ooh, I'm gonna have to listen. Next paycheck, I got you, dude.
yeah, no,
You know,
I'm
always here for you if you need help.
all right. I am going to pay him back the 100 gold for his expenses.
Yep.
And then I am also going to let's see. I'm not sure if that's something I'm gonna like. Is that what? How much chain are we looking at here? Like enough to like chain me down, or like the door?
Asked, it's up to you to use however you want. You asked for the chain.
Yeah,
so
I did. Okay, and
but
there's locks on it. Okay.
it's enough to either secure the door or secure you like with cuffs or something. The cuffs wouldn't be silver, but
yeah,
the chain, securing them is
Yeah.
silver kind of thing.
yeah. Okay, then yeah. I will. I'm gonna start taking inventory of things we might need to move out of the basement.
Yeah.
Is this something that like Alu might have overheard you chatting about?
I mean, I don't think I'll keep it a secret at this point.
So Alu might recommend that you like chillax in her tower. It's confined,
thing-
and it's above.
It has windows.
It does.
It has windows, and I can get out. And I don't trust
Maybe.
myself on this because I guess at some point you get better at it. But this is literally my first time, and it's probably the least amount of control I'm gonna have.
We gotta really seal that hatch down there so you can't escape.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. Dasher says it hasn't arrived yet, but it'll be payment on delivery. I didn't have the gold on me to pay for it, but
Okay.
we are getting silver bars that'll be installed in both the sewer entrance and this door. That should
Excellent.
be done by tomorrow,
Okay, and that's fine.
and that'll be 250 gold pieces when it's installed.
Okay. And then I think the only other thing I can do to really prep for this is I'm gonna get a lot of raw meat. Because if I can't go anywhere, the least I can do is treat myself.
We can find you some goats.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually because Wilhelm has started doing a lunch and dinner service. So there's there's a good freezer in the tavern and stuff. You don't have to go anywhere for that, and that doesn't cost anything extra. Wilhelm will
Okay.
have an HR session at some point in the near future about using company funds to expense out bondage gear, but that's a problem
Hey,
for future
it's
Roland.
it's not company funds. I paid out of my own pocket first of all. Jeez. Anyway, and
That
then
Wilhelm's like slipping himself a whole bunch of money from this enterprise.
yeah, really.
You can't prove anything.
All he does is cook the books while we're away. Anyway, okay. Aside from that, I think I'm probably gonna go find a library and read up on lycanthropy.
Good idea.
Yeah. Give me you'll make breakfast and kind of head out.
Yeah, I'll let people know where
Sure.
I'm going too. But
Yeah, you let Alu know. Give me a we're gonna call it an investigation check to
I'm not great
represent
at those, but okay.
you're not traditionally you've not been a big library user.
Yeah, no, I haven't been motivated to do that. Okay, and let me investigation, huh? All right.
And you did last time you did talk about
Not great. 6. I don't know how the Dewey Decimal System works.
well, we'll say you find books about it, but it's hard for you to parse what's like myth and folklore and what is fact. With a 5, like you got some general things, but you're not really getting any hard details. They did. It was suggested that the Black Staff is like she'd be knowledgeable on the subject, but yeah. So we'll say you'll spend a little bit of time doing that throughout
Yeah.
local library.
Yeah.
While Roland's gone and Alu's hanging out with the Flutterfeet, what about Holly and Fen and Spev? It's probably been an hour at this point. You all are definitely waking up. Spev, you've been up and working, but you might come downstairs. Who wants to go next? Yeah, Spev.
Yeah, this actually works perfectly. Like as Roland walks out the front door, the camera kind of trucks up to see Sprocket looking out the window and watching him leave. And here's my idea. I want to use to help that crystal throat sack I got from the dragon. I want to help reinforce the defenses of the house.
Yes.
You said I get like 3 more power points. Could I potentially run just non-lethal wires outside the dragon room? This room to just have like buzzers on them, so if anyone comes in, they can buzz and alert the dragon. But specifically when Roland leaves, I also want to run 1 wire by his balcony without him knowing, in case he ever leaves without letting anyone know.
I think you already put a. Oh, no, sorry.
He's got a
something
zap
separate from
trap.
the
He's got a zap trap that Roland knows about, but I want to put a
Gotcha.
buzzer trap just in case he gets a little hungry late at night.
Yeah, I don't know where we put. I'm gonna say that doing just a simple buzzer that it's like they step on the plate, it connects, and you know it. I'll say that you can link up all of the entrances of Troll Skull Alley, and that
Oh.
it's not a lot of energy, so that wouldn't even cost you a PowerPoint. Just make a note that you have like a switchboard of lights, and you have like door numbers or something. You've got a
Awesome.
system so that when doors open and close, you will know.
Cool. I'm gonna make most of those like buzzers and information public, just so if anyone knows there's someone on our back patio or coming in a door, like anyone can see it. But the Roland buzzer is in my room.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's something that'll take you a chunk of the day to set up, but that won't cost you. You'll still have 3 PowerPoints to spend on traps and stuff.
Cool. I'll figure that out. But like as I'm running these wires and doing these plans, Sprocket's gonna look down and see Featherfoot walking by, like what's his name? Wilhelm's got like his arm around him. They're looking happy. They're looking cheery, and Sprocket you just see a wave of relief hit him that just like Sprocket relaxes for the first time in a day, and like a little tear forms. Like, okay, he didn't tell us about him, and our friend he listened to my message and came and didn't rat us out. I did not fuck up so bad that they get Xanathars on us. So Sprocket is feeling great seeing that Featherfoot is here, and that's kind of what I'm doing.
I dig it. I love it. Awesome. What about who wants to go next, Fen or Holly?
Holly Reef can go next.
Sure. So you get up
So,
and you're feeling pretty awful.
Yep, pretty crappy. So she's gonna go downstairs, and she is wearing a COVID mask because she's doesn't want to get anyone else sick, and she's also embarrassed about her breath. And she is going to see if the Lord's Alliance needs any more help.
Yeah, you want to go.
Anything?
You want to go visit the palace. Go talk to what was his name, Jalister?
Yeah, Jalister Silverman.
Yeah. I guess if you're heading out, are you visibly pretty sick? Or are you trying to keep it to yourself right now?
And she's trying to keep it to herself right now. She's probably not doing a very good job of it, but
Well, let's see what
Okay.
the dice have to say. Why don't you give me a performance check?
okay.
A 12. Okay. Yeah. Wilhelm doesn't seem to notice. He greets you. Says, "Oh, you're doing something different with your makeup today, or something." You head out. Yeah. You absolutely can go talk to Jalister. You go to Waterdeep Castle. Lariel Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep's offices, where Jalister has his stuff set up. So the last thing you did was you assassinated Harko Swornhold on behalf of the Lord's Alliance.
Yes.
Jalister sees you, greets you, says, "Are you doing okay?"
Fine. I think I just might have caught a little cold, but otherwise I'm good.
Awesome. Are you here for more work? Because we do have more stuff for you to do.
Yes, I wanted to see. Hold on. If the Dung Sweepers Guild needed any more help.
He says, "No. I mean, I think you've proven yourself more than capable to handle that, and we have something, I think, more pressing and a little more challenging for you."
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Red Wizards of Thay?
I don't know. DM, am I?
Why don't you give me a history check?
Yeah,
I'd say,
them fuckers.
yeah. Yeah, I think that Holly, maybe not like all of the details, but she'd be passingly familiar. So Thay is like an isolated nation in eastern Faerun. It is like a city state. I believe it's isolated on a mountain, Mount Thay. Um, the Red Wizards are it's a magocracy, magocracy,
Mageocracy.
magocracy. The ruling class are all magic users. Specifically, in Thay, the ruling class are the Red Wizards. They're also known as the Red Magic Cult of the Eastern Heartlands. They're pretty notorious, pretty nefarious. They they have a history of slavery, of being demonologists, arcane experimenters. They large sections of Thay are just undead. Their like workforce is a lot of undead. Um, the Red Wizards are essentially a like, because they're far away, the Lord's Alliance isn't super concerned with them, but there's essentially a cold war going on between the city states of the Sword Coast and the Red Wizards. I think
Okay.
Holly would know all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say, yeah, I've heard about them.
Um,
What's up?
Jallister throws a paper, the today's broadsheet at you, and says, "Well, take a look over here." And he points to not the main article. The main article seems to be some dumb bullshit about like there's a white dragon that got spotted somewhere north of here, whatever. Some no-name mining town that no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, I'm
But
handling.
yeah, but there's a side article talking about someone named Esloon Bazant, who is identified as a red wizard that has been spotted in Waterdeep.
Good name.
Okay.
He says,
Is this dude bad?
I mean, he's nothing but trouble, and technically, it's not that it's illegal to be a red wizard and be in Waterdeep, but unofficially, we want him taken care of. He represents a threat to our power structures, a threat to our security. I know that uh, our informants, some of them in the Harper's Guild, have let us know that Bazant is courting the Zentarum and the other way around. They're trying to add his gang of thugs to their ranks to strengthen their position. We recently heard that the Xanathar's Guild has been momentarily weakened, so the Zentarum look to be capitalizing on it. All we know about Bazant is that he was exiled from Thay a few years back. He's too smart to get caught doing anything illegal. He and his gang of ne'er-do-wells, they kind of prowl around the dock ward. I just need you to make sure that they don't team up with the Zentarum.
Okay. If they were to, or if Bazant was to be unalived, would that cause a big issue between Waterdeep and the other Red Wizards?
No, our diplomatic relationships with Thay are essentially non-existent. So, if he were to mysteriously drown in Waterdeep Bay, I would not shed a tear.
Good to know. All right, I'll get to it.
He's just slowly becoming a mage hitman.
Well, Lord's Alliance, maybe you work you run with the big dogs. You got to learn to bite. Yeah. So you have your mission. I guess, do you head back to Waterdeep Tavern or to Troll Skull Tavern after that?
No, she's gonna see her personal doctor and see if anything can be done about curing this exhaustion.
Oh yeah. You go see your doctor. Yeah. Your family physician. He looks and he says, "How the hell did he get this? I mean, this is a poor person disease. Have you been
Yeah,
running
I'd
around in the
rather not-
sewers?"
I'd rather not talk about it, sir.
All right. He says, "Well, yeah, I got something that can clear it up. I mean, it might take like a week, but he gives you a poultice. He says, yeah, steep this in hot water every 2 hours. Cover the wet poultice. Cover your eyes with the wet poultice. Breathe in the fumes, and you'll be right. The other way, I mean, if you know anyone that has lesser restoration, there's magical means of curing this disease."
I get that, but I don't. Okay, I'll take the poultice for right now. Thank you so much for your help.
Sure thing. Tell your mom I said hi.
I will.
All right. All right. Then I guess Fen. What about you? What are you up to?
Okay, audience. So, in case you haven't noticed, our DM is deeply irritated that Fen has not pursued the killer of his wife at this point.
Why?
No.
I believe the most profitable line of inquiry right now is for him to pursue this guy named Bran Stonebridge at this point.
Yeah.
So I believe he's got like two lines of two threads to pull on this one. The first one would be the guy, because Rolan had spotted this dude in like the crowd apparently.
At the Bright Swords tournament.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think at this point is kind of like not super helpful. However, JB Nevercott also apparently like spotted this dude, but also like clearly knows who he is, right? Like he can recognize him. So I think the last time that JB Nevercott saw him, it was at down by like the docks or some shit.
JB Nevercott saw. JB Nevercott's informants told him that Bran Stonebridge was shaking down business owners in the Castle Ward, which is the wealthier part of town, on behalf of the Castellanter family. They were trying to pull in as much money owed to them as possible pretty urgently.
Okay.
That's right.
So-
They're trying to rescue their kids.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I mean, I think Fen has some clearly some tailing or some investigation to do. Like he's got to stake out that place, or he's got to go see JB Nevercott directly and see if there's any update, because this information is fairly old at this point. So I think he's got two options. One, he can either go stake out the docks, or he can go directly to JB Nevercott and see if he's got any new updates on it, right?
Yeah. Just to clarify, the Castle Ward is the northern part of town. It's not the docks.
Okay.
But
So
yes.
it's
Yeah.
Got
The Sea Ward, yeah. I was telling you the wrong thing. I kept saying Castle Ward. I meant Sea Ward.
Seaward, yeah.
All right. Yes. So Fen, if you are, if we're looking at our map of Waterdeep, if you wanted to go, you could basically just go ask around the Sea Ward for any sign of Bran. You can absolutely do that. Or if you want to go talk to Nevercott to see what his latest information for you might be, you can do that also.
Can you tell me how many days have passed since I got that update from JB about having spotted him there?
Ooh, that is a tough
It's probably not
question.
as long as we've thought. It's probably like a week.
It's less than a week, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think. Had to be after
Is
the
before-
tournament, right? The tournament
Yeah.
was on the 21st. It is the 28th. And a week is 10 days in this universe. So less than a week.
Okay. So I think, and I know, I could recognize this guy if I saw him.
Yes. Did we establish that? We established that Rolan could recognize him. I don't know that. Did you know Bran before?
Yeah,
the
no, I
murder?
thought he was someone that Fen
Oh
knew.
yes, Fen. You would recognize Bran, absolutely.
You would know him better than I would, honestly, I think.
Then I'm gonna
It's-
let my team know that I'm doing this, so they know where I am.
Yeah.
whatever
No,
it takes
Roland.
to know this.
Roland will acknowledge that. He's
I'm going to
basically. Roland
Discord.
would say, "Before you make a move, let me know."
Yeah.
And we'll go together at least.
So this is his plan. He's gonna go because it's not been super long since he talked to JB Nevergod. It's possible that info is still like current. He's gonna go there to the Sea Ward and like stake it out a little. He's gonna like wear a cloak. He's gonna be like low key.
You gonna look more like a drow.
He's gonna Assassin's Creed this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I think if you are spending a significant amount of time this day doing this, let's
Yes.
see. Normally it would be an investigation check, but I think if we're thinking through what you're doing and what you're doing,
also pass without trace.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say we'll do two things. First, roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
And that'll set kind of the DC. And yeah, if you're doing pass without trace, you can go ahead and use that. If you want to turn that 12 into a 22 or keep it as a 12.
Yeah, I might as well. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
let's-
You
It's utility.
burn a pass without trace, so that's a 22 on your stealth. Okay, so that means I know what the DC here is. You can give me a perception check.
Perception.
I think perception instead of investigation here. If you're not, it sounds like you're not talking to people, you are instead specifically looking for.
Well, yeah, it's because I already know, at least as far as I know that he's been spotted there already. So I
Yeah.
think for now, because the other thing is I don't want to like engage with this dude without at least Roland by my side. I think we've learned anybody doing anything alone is a bad idea. So
I got you. You're trying. You don't want him to know that you're looking for him, so you're not going around asking, "Have you seen this red-haired
even
asshole?"
if I find him, I still am going to call in reinforcements before we like do anything.
Yes, I got you.
So perception then.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a 14, I guess. Well, we didn't even ask. Do you want to guidance yourself?
Yeah, why not? We're
Use that sword, man. Yeah.
So I will do it again. Here we go. Hang on.
Well, you add a D4. The elder spirits of the barbarian tribe, they
You
gather
just caress the
around you.
pommel real fast, and it.
Yeah, the black lion sword.
I gotta name that thing, by the way. I gotta name it.
It has a name.
I know, but like I gotta give it my own name. You gotta give your sword your own name. Like
Yeah, like Super Baby Garbo.
I feel
no good
I
sword.
feel like that's like giving yourself a nickname. Other people do that.
this is different. Like giving your car a nickname is lame. You gotta name your sword. You can't like
Wife
one
into
with your sword unless you named it. Come on.
Mhm.
she's Jenny.
Yeah,
I gotta
roll,
work.
roll me a D4.
Between his
D4.
pass without trace, his guidance sword, which is
Yay!
awesome now.
Yeah.
And-
They here's what I'm going to say, cuz the perception check by itself didn't meet, but you rolled a 4 on the D4. The sword, you don't find any sign of
Oh, did
Bran
he Montoya it?
Stonebridge, but the sword guides you
Great.
through the streets, through Delzoran Street, until you get into the North Ward. You're like wandering, and you're wondering why it seems to be guiding you away from the Sea Ward, until you get to a place which I'm looking at on the map. We are looking for. Can anyone find it? Aveen Street. Aveen. Says
Aveen
it
Street?
should be somewhere
Oh,
over here.
yeah, it's like straight down from Roland. If you do a like southeast from
perfect,
Fen,
yeah.
straight down from Roland.
Awesome. You find the sword seems to be showing you a nondescript residence,
Descript residence.
just like a house. I don't, but for some reason it's like pointing you at this house.
Okay.
You gotta stake it out, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So I can attempt to hide. One of my great, amazing skills is to attempt to hide. What I'm gonna do is just attempt to hide. I'm gonna like snake it out for a
Don't
while.
you
See if I can
do?
comes and goes.
Don't wood elves have like a hiding thing?
Yeah, the ability. This is the thing. This is such bullshit. My character sheet. Sometimes I complain all the time about this. One of the reasons I complain about this is the perfect example. One of my abilities is my ability to attempt to do something. You can
Yeah,
attempt to do
That's
something.
all abilities when you think about it.
What?
Do it. You just can attempt to do it.
That's what I get to do. I can try to hide. That's what I can do.
Which ability is this?
This is it's one of, I don't know. It's like a hang on. It
It's
is not ethereal step, not favorite foe. It's Mask of the Wild.
If trees
I can
out,
attempt to hide
trees in the
even when I am only lightly obscured.
Oh, Mask of the Wild. Gotcha.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll say, especially as you've gotten more and more familiar with Waterdeep, give me a stealth check with advantage because of Mask of the Wild. Your Mask of like as you're getting more and more familiar with an urban environment, you find that you are naturally drawn to the shadows, and you've picked up on ways to appear nondescript yourself.
The yard gardens, just hiding in the
Yeah.
bushes.
So you hide out and you watch this house. How long are you gonna watch it for?
I mean, let's start with 24 hours for now. Like I said, I got the radio, right? Like I can like radio dudes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
basically want to be in contact with Roland specifically and let Roland know this is where I am. I'm letting him know this is where I am. I'm gonna check him out for about 24 hours. I know you guys are up to your own thing, but like that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah. We'll say you watch it for, and everyone's doing like long-term activities right now. I don't think anyone's like done with their stuff. Night falls. What we're gonna say, you know what? You're taking most of Elliot the 28th to watch this place. You see, eventually, you start to notice that every once in a while, one or two people comes into the building now that night has fallen. No one seems to be leaving. They have their hoods up. They're trying to be they're like trying to subtly duck in when people aren't paying attention. But you clock this.
Okay, but I don't recognize any of them.
Not yeah, you know what? Go ahead and give me another perception check because this is like specifically trying to see if you identify Bran.
Mm-hmm.
With a 15, you notice someone with his like stride. You don't see, like, you're not seeing his face or anything, but you can kind of recognize him based on his movement down the
gait.
street.
Yeah.
His gait.
For the record, I was debating whether or not I should use guidance, but because we'll give it some time. I can always stake out a little bit longer. We'll see. Okay, good to know.
what's the objective if you find him? Like, what are you
Well, like,
know where he is at the moment? We just like
What he's
plot-
doing? How many people does he have with him?
Yeah, like what's
Kind of
the
eats he packing?
what's the thing? What's the thing?
I think ultimately I want to like subdue him and like get some info from him, right? I gotta investigate. So I gotta figure out because I think right now he's like a chief suspect. Am I right about that? Like he's like you think he might be the dude?
Yeah.
You,
least-
I wasn't there when the original backstory was written up, and I don't think we've had like a super in-depth conversation about it. I think this is about towards the end of the episode, so we'll establish some canon and then call this an episode. I like to think that you know it was him. You
Okay.
were a level 1 ranger when you discovered your wife was dead, but that's still good enough to recognize the presence of another man in your marital bed. You know that Bran was, and she was right. She was torn apart by an animal. So you have known that You've suspected that it's someone who can turn into a monstrous form, and you could recognize the signs that Bran was in your house.
Right. All right. All right. So for now, I don't know for sure, but I am of the suspicion that he is now in this house. That's my guess. Because obviously it's all
Yes.
who has like the gate that
Yeah.
I think that's right. Okay. So I think basically at this point, like I said, I'm probably gonna wait until Roland is free until I can like get a crew to go in there. Because I don't know. I'm certainly not gonna go in there alone, right?
Yes.
I would also say Fenn's probably gonna be a little bit emotional about it. So he's probably like wanting to go in there now. But he's gonna discretion is a better part of valor. He's gonna wait for a second.
Sure thing. I guess this is a party decision. Fen, are you calling people to say, hey, get over here? Or are you saying, I know this and I'm going to come back to this when I have more information?
So no one's coming out. I don't know what that means. It's possible that there's like another way for people to leave this place. Like probably knowing this campaign, it's probably fucking underground like everything else.
Well, who has
Wow,
their
sewers in the city.
guys, if you want, go
So
information gathering.
I said I'm gonna stay here for like 24 hours. I think I'm gonna do that. That gives some other people some time to do their shit, and then I'm gonna let them know that like, yeah, this is what I found. Within 24 hours, I'm probably gonna like, if you don't show up with, you got 24 hours to get to my spot, and then I'm gonna go in.
Yeah. I guess having informed everyone else, is anyone doing other stuff and over the next day, or is it like night of the 28th? Okay, Fen said, "Hey, this is the thing, and we're gonna go to where he's at."
I'm just gonna double check like my preparations. So like from my library, I'm gonna head back to the inn, double check everything. I know I've got at least a day or two more, right? I got till the 31st,
Yes.
and it's the 28th now.
Yes. I think you have until. Let me check my notes.
That's by the way,
The
guys.
30th.
Mhm. The 30th. Okay, so I have 2 more days, 2.5 really. Okay, that's fine. I can make that work. But once I've double checked everything, I will tell Fen that I'm heading towards his position, but I won't like try and find his exact position for fear of not being stealthy enough to give it away. But I will try and
You're gonna
take like a
decom-
more civilian stance where I'm.
Gotcha.
Roland checks his calendar. Yeah, I'm free for a raid on Saturday.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think
You run Hunter, Titan, Warlock. What do you do?
Ollie would be joining Roland. She'd probably like get up on the rooftop, like
Sure.
further down the street. She also would have probably asked Wilhelm if he's got any information on the house, on this specific guy, if he knows anything, like if there's any information gathering she can do ahead of time
Yeah.
before going in. She's gonna probably use her hat of disguise and find some sort of ruse to not
It's-
necessarily infiltrate, but like knock on the door and like
Yeah,
Open
so,
up.
so you're gonna head to the meetup, and while you're doing that, Wilhelm's gonna do some digging into like public records and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sure thing. Yeah, Wilhelm says I'm on it, and he'll start digging. Absolutely. Holly, or what are you doing?
Yep. Has it been a week?
No,
Um,
it's been a few hours. I guess it's been like a day, half a day.
So besides taking the poultice and soaking it up in a bathtub for hours, she is gonna go to the dock wards and just kind of take a look around. She's gonna let her group know that she's going to the dock wards in case, like, God forbid.
Sure.
something
So
happens
while
to her,
while
but-
Fenn's doing his original stakeout,
Yeah.
you're taking a look around the dock wards.
what are you looking for?
Belzant.
Yeah,
He
you.
would probably tell you to like reach out to Mantra while you're
Okay.
there, just to so you have people in your corner looking out for you. mantra would probably have like people being like, "Watch out for that chick."
Yeah, you start working Alu's kind of contacts in the dock ward. You Mantra says the same thing. Kind of, this is something that'll take a bit of time, but he'll get you an update as soon as he hears something about Byzant. So make a note that like basically every day we'll roll and check to see whether you found anything or not.
Okay.
Cool. And after that, heading over to Fen.
Is everyone else heading over to Fen?
It seems like it.
I am.
Then
Yeah,
yes.
we're providing
because she doesn't want to be left out, so she'll do the same.
All right. And then last but not least, Spev, what about you?
I think Sprocket spent the rest of the day wiring up like the alarm and buzzer systems, and like probably wired up the crystal throat sac just to have that power there, and like get some electricity to his lab, and hopefully he can power his armor to it later. But I don't think that's a project for today. But I think as he will approach everyone else, but I think he's going to swing by the halls of justice just to see how Jelzar and Iron Fist are doing. No, that's something. Is Silver Fist.
Yeah. Kind of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Yes, them. I know they've been having a hell of a time with crimes erupting around the city and everything. Just checking with them.
And we are helping.
Yeah. Jelzar. Yeah, Jelzar's lab's all cleaned up. They got the giant fishbowl moved out of there. It seemed like they cut it up into sections and got it out of there. He says, "Hey, how's it going?"
Oh, great! Yeah, it looks like everything's cleaned up and mostly working again. But I was just wondering what's going on with the how is looking over the city and fighting for justice going?
While you're asking that, Savra Bellabranta, she's the your contact at the Order of the Gauntlet. She's actually, there's a task that you could help us with if you're interested.
He remembers about the thousands of gallons of water he dumped in the lab just days before. Like, yeah, I would love to help.
She says, so there's the Enshift Tavern. It's located in the Field Ward on Enshift Street. Guards at the Enshift Tavern are apparently getting robbed nightly. The innkeeper says he's seen giant rats prowling the back alleys. It's not like super interesting, but if you can just go help them out, they're asking for help, and we're stretched thin everywhere else. Just figure out who's robbing them and put a stop to it.
Just the guards are getting robbed? Or everyone's getting robbed?
It sounds like just the guards, yeah, which is weird.
Specifically like city guards or like just the tavern guards?
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. I think it's a spot where guards go to hang out after shift, and someone's robbing the police at their hangout spot.
Okay. And then how do you spell that tavern and street?
It's the word end and then shift.
Oh, end.
Like end of shift. That makes sense. I get it now.
I thought the letter N, so you're way better than me. Cool. Is that nearby or is that something I'll check out later?
It's in the Field Ward. It's way north.
Oh, okay. That's a task for tomorrow.
It's not that far from Troll Skull Manor, but yeah, it's up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably check that out later and inform the group and start making my way to join everyone else.
Yeah. You headed south to meet the Order of the Silver Gauntlet. You head back up north, and you all find yourself in front of this house. You're in your different spots, but you're communicating with each other. And we are going to call this an episode here with whatever this raid is about to begin. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.